as well. Good morning to all of you. Without much ado, I'll hand over to the SAFA President, Dr. Jordaan, to just to give us an idea of why we're gathered here today. Over to you, Mr. President.
Good morning to all of you. You remember we put out a statement to say that we're going to have an emergency meeting yesterday, which was convened and conducted yesterday, and we thought it was important that we convey the decisions of the emergency committee to you this morning. So essentially it's around the position of the CEO. We have Mr. Motlanthe who's here, who, when we advertised the position of CEO, we had 5 persons applying, and one of them, after the interview process, was appointed, Advocate Motlanthe, and Lydia Monyepao, who was also an applicant for the position of CEO, was appointed as the COO. So that was the position. Then we have received a letter of resignation, which was tabled yesterday, which was received by Mr. Motlanthe. And in that letter, he indicates that his desire to resign and that he can settle any other legal requirements between himself and SAFA, which the emergency committee agreed to. And that was the position. We've asked him here because a lot of things were said, and it's best that he speaks for himself on the matter, and we will then respond. Because a lot of things which were written is just not backed by facts, not supported by facts. So the best is here. Let him talk for himself. Mr. Motlanthe, I must just inform you that yesterday the emergency committee did accept your resignation. We understand it's not the first time that the person resigned and goes elsewhere. Russell Paul resigned because he was going to work as a COO at the World Cup in Qatar, and there was no issue with us. If there's such an approach, this association always supports young administrators and will continue to do so. So that is our position, but he's here, he can talk for himself. I'm not here to talk on his behalf.
Thank you, President. It's indeed true that I have tendered my resignation. I've sent you a letter which I've signed. The one which is on social media, I would like to categorically say it's not my letter. I don't know, mine has a signature and has my reasons, and my reasons are simple, personal and private. I've decided, and I've said to the association I will not be serving a month's notice. I'm resigning with immediate effect, and as in my contract, they can then take a month's salary from that, but I'm leaving with immediate effect. I don't have any bad blood with anyone, including the president. We work well with the president. He has been a father. He has guided me. It's just a personal decision which I've taken. And I would like to thank the National Executive Committee. They've given me support, the Regents members and to staff. I also wish them all the best. I support the bidding of 2027 World Cup. We've started the process with me being there, and I'm not divorcing myself anyway from it. I'll continue to support it from outside. And as I said to the president, wherever he needs me, I will be available. And we are not leaving each other on bad blood as it is painted out there. There is no bad blood, it's just a personal decision. In that spirit, I would like to say to Lydia, as she's coming in, to say she can call for me for any support, anything she needs, which I might have left not having handed over, I will be glad to hand over. And to the media, it was good working with you. But now I become a private citizen and I would like to enjoy my privacy. Any issues of SAFA, the people on the table here will deal with issues of SAFA. As indicated, that I'll be requesting to leave because I have engagement outside. Thank you.
So are you saying what Madiba said when he retired as president? Don't call me, I will call you.
No thanks, President.
Can we just have a come? Take his hand. Yeah. Come, CEO, VPs. So the CEO is gone. Welcome, CEO. Yesterday, as a second part of this process, the emergency committee discussed the question of the appointment of a CEO, also with immediate effect. Because, you know, tomorrow we're going to Cape Town. We're having a meeting with government to discuss the bid. We have deadlines in May, 19th of May, end of May, and we must meet those deadlines. So the work must carry on, and that's why we said we cannot have a vacancy for one day. We must immediately act and appoint a CEO. Of course, we are fortunate that we have a person who has been with SAFA for a long time. She was a player in Banyana Banyana. She had good ability, given a nickname, and she can tell you that nickname and how it emerged. She then became the manager of Banyana Banyana. She then continued her administrative career. She went to work at the University of Pretoria, Tuks University, but she also worked for Ernst & Young because she has strong financial background. I think you have a CV.
Yes, I will.
Oh, you distribute the CV. So you can look at the CV. A person of high quality, highly respected in CAF and FIFA. And we are fortunate to have such a person. This would be the first woman who's been appointed as the CEO and the boss of South African football. And we are happy that we can put before the nation the first woman appointed Chief Executive of South African football. And we wish her all the best. And certainly yesterday at the emergency committee, the decision was unanimous. Everyone agreed to the appointment of Lydia Monyepao as the Chief Executive Officer of South African football. So, congratulations, and you have to hit the ground running. The first engagement is tomorrow in Cape Town with the government, and she knows all the deadlines because she has been working on these matters in any case. So it's not new. Okay, so that is the decision that we have a CEO, the first woman CEO of South African football. So over to you.
All right, Mr. President, we will just give the new CEO just an opportunity just to just have a short and brief message to the members of the media.
Can I move these mics?
Yeah.
Can I move everybody's? Yes, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, SAFA staff, SAFA NEC, the VPs, and the President, Dr. Jordaan, Mama Joy, and all the supporters of South African football. My name is Lydia Monyepao. As indicated, I was the Chief Operating Officer until appointed now, the CEO of SAFA. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the association for having confidence in me and my abilities to take this job forward. I wish the Advocate Motlanthe all the best. Him and I have worked the past 2 years very closely. We were a formidable team, I would say, because we really capitalized on each other's strength. Whatever he was good at, he carried on with that, and I was very strong in operations, so I carried on. There's something wrong with these mics. The mic.
Where can you check out the sound?
So I have as indicated, I was working very closely with Advocate Motlanthe on many issues important issues around South African football. So I do have, the knowledge in terms of what was happening and what needs to be carried forward. I was very much involved with the 2027 bid and women's football and other operations on that side. It's big shoes that I'm filling, but I think I have to hit the ground running, and I'm capable of hitting the ground running. So I will take that task and take the work forward. I'm not naive in terms of what is required for this job. I know the challenges that surround any CEO of the South African Football Association. I'm not naive to that. But as indicated, no job is easy. You have to take it as it comes, and also apply what you're good at and you're capable of. As indicated, thank you very much to the President and the NEC, the South African Football NEC, for having confidence in me and my abilities. My CV can show you in terms of my previous experience and my educational qualifications. I believe I'm capable of this. Yes, the position came earlier than expected, because I was expecting the CEO, myself and the CEO, to work together until both our contracts run out, in a few years' time. In 3 years' time, we had 3 years remaining, but unfortunately, he decided to end it here. Something that obviously came as a shock to all of us. We were not prepared for that. But as they say, you always have to be ready for whatever comes, and take opportunity whenever it presents itself. So here I am. I'm ready to serve, and I will do my best in the position. Thank you.
Can you just give us a summary of your education background for the members, just briefly?
Okay. I'll start with my primary school, because that's where where I was born and bred, and what made me the person who I am right now. Because sometimes people see at your institutional qualifications and they think they don't really know who you are. I went to Swarisanam Primary School in a village called Seyfergale. You won't find it on the map, but that's where I got my primary school, and I got a scholarship back in the days to study at the International School of Buputazwana. It's now called the International School of South Africa. Then after graduating, finishing my matric, then I studied at Wits University, where I got my BCom. And then I went on to study at UKZN, where I got my honors in accounting, BCom accounting honors. Then I worked I worked at EY in various positions in audit and also accounting. Eventually, before the 2010 World Cup, I got a scholarship to go to the UK, where I studied a master's in sport management, an area that I've always been interested in. With the reference from the South African Football Association, because then I was working with the 2010 FIFA LOC platform, a financial platform, and I went off, got a master's in sport management, and I came back home, where I worked on the 2010 FIFA World Cup I have other certificates ever since then in leadership. I've gone to FIFA before, where I got a certificate in a leadership program for women, and I've worked with various organizations as well, including SAWAPS, South African Women and Sport Foundation, and the Thabo Mbeki Institute, where I got various leadership certificates, that helped me, get me to where I am right now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So you can see that given the road you traveled, it did not come too soon. You were ready, and you were trained and qualified over a long period of time. So we want to welcome you as the boss of South African football.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, CEO. Now we'll open up the floor to the members of the media to ask their questions, and just state your name and the publication you work for. And more importantly, also, please note that there will be no one-on-ones. All the questions will be addressed from the podium. Thank you.
Thank you. President Benjamin Leshoro from Newsroom Africa. Firstly, I'd like to know the nature of the appointment. Is it on an interim basis? Is it a permanent post? Are we still looking for another CEO? And also, Lydia, congratulations. Are you maybe coming into the job with your guard up a little bit, considering the reports? I know the previous CEO has rubbished the claims of letters and everything, but there's something eerily similar with the departures of this CEO and his predecessors. Is your guard up a little bit in that regard?
No, I think that's clear. The CEO, I don't know whether you were here.
I arrived late, sorry.
So the CEO was here, for your information. He clarified his position. So don't speak about things that he has already dismissed. It's unfortunate that you came late. Can you respond?
Thanks for the question. I've been working at the South African Football Association for 2 years, very closely so with Advocate Motlanthe, and yesterday we had a meeting where we talked about supporting each other. And he did say here that he's going to avail himself so that he can hand over, and he can support me however best is possible. I come into this job with an open mind, with a clean slate. I believe the experiences that he had, whatever experiences that he had as a CEO, because I was not 100% involved in some of the areas that he worked in. Like I said, he was working more on the strategic level. I was more on the operations, and obviously I have to step into those shoes of also embodying, including into my JD, more strategic leadership, responsibilities as well. So it's I will take the job as it comes. And see what unfolds. I'm not going to say this happened, that happened, whatever happened. I think it's about being open, to the possibilities, and also having an ongoing discussions, open discussions with Advocate Motlanthe and also the president. I've engaged the president as well in terms of the support that I will require from the association in terms of me taking this position. So we've discussed that prior to this, and it's about the association, the NEC, and also the president supporting me in the role. But I'm not going to say I'm scared or I've got my guard up or down. But it's an open slate for me.
the CEO did submit a letter signed by him, and he said so, in which he sets out his resignation. That is the official letter that we have. We respond to that letter. And he spoke to the letter that he signed. He said that letter that was circulating, there's no signature. He doesn't know that letter. So we can only respond to what we have officially from him with his signature. And that we have.
Thanks.
No, we will move on. Yeah.
No, but President, I asked if it's I'm not following up. I asked it already.
Okay.
Sorry?
Permanent or interim? Oh, asking if it's a permanent or interim?
Permanent or interim.
We told you that she's been appointed yesterday. We must sit down and sign that contract with her. Your second question, are we looking for another CEO? I don't know for what reason. She has been appointed yesterday. The terms and conditions of the contract must be negotiated and signed. Yesterday was Sunday. We just came back and we thought it was important to inform the public that she's the CEO. It is official, and we have to sit with her to understand, is she ready for 1 year, 3 years, 5 years? Those are the process of negotiation. She did indicate very clearly, one, she's a woman, and two, she has small children. So I'm sure that in the discussions we have to take into account that this is the first time that we have a woman as a CEO, and there may be issues that we have to take care of and write it in that contract. But that is what we are going to do. So I cannot give you more than that.
Can I just say, in my highlighting to the NEC yesterday, that coming into this position in terms of where I stand as a mother of 2 young future Banyana players, maybe, I don't know. Obviously, there's a need for one to be involved in the upbringing of my children. I'm not saying that I have to be treated special because I'm a woman with children, because there has always been that tendency that women don't get appointed in these kind of positions, President, because they are women, they've got children, they're not capable in terms of availing themselves for the time. I think when this opportunity came about and the NEC and the President started discussing this with myself, I indicated that I have to go home and discuss this with my husband, and also, because he's my support base, and with our children being so young, we always have to, take turns in terms of their needs and their requirements. And obviously this job is very much challenging. I will be required now, time and again, to be traveling like we are doing tomorrow, as wasn't the case previously. The CEO, Advocate Motlanthe, used to do a lot of the traveling and a lot of the meetings outside the office. So obviously it falls on my lap now. But obviously one has to balance work and life. It's quite important that one takes that into consideration. Hence why I highlighted to the NEC that this is one of the things that they have to take into consideration. But I am available for the position. It's not something that is keeping me away from this. I think it's a great opportunity for the women that are coming behind me as well, because everyone is looking up to me to represent them on the stage as the first CEO of the South African Football Association. But that I just wanted to clarify that it's not that women should not be overlooked because of young children, because they're married, because of their personal and private situations. Thank you.
Okay. We also discussed yesterday the question of the bid, and we will have a meeting a press conference to address those issues, because we also are going to tell you the people that will be appointed to drive the bid. And we have to be mindful of the issues that the CEO has raised and give her all the support. Ultimately, she's the CEO of the bid, but we have to give her hands and feet there too to drive the bid. We are having a meeting with the government tomorrow. That's why we said when we come back, the media department will convene a press conference, and you will see the people that we will be appointing on the bid committee, because they too must start running with the bid.
Thanks, Tebogo from ENCA. Those Lydia, congratulations on the appointment. And perhaps maybe this is going to be a bit of an unfair question based on the fact that you are still new in this role. But what do you think would be your immediate challenges at the association that you have to deal with? Thanks.
As indicated, I had a conversation with Advocate Motlanthe yesterday. So him and I need to sit to see what he was dealing with, because I was more dealing with operations, especially dealing with the deadlines, various deadlines relating to our strategic plan that needs to be submitted to FIFA. The first draft needs to be submitted to FIFA on the 15th of May, and then the final draft needs to be approved and submitted to FIFA on the 30th of June, which is a tight deadline. And also the bid agreement as well. I'm going to speak to the government before we sign that bid agreement that needs to be submitted by the end of this week. So I was dealing with those issues at the moment. So I need to sit with the outgoing CEO, Advocate Motlanthe, so that I can see what was on his plate, so that I can prioritize the important and urgent matters to deal with. So it will be, I think in the next week, I will know exactly what needs to be prioritized ahead of what.
Okay.
Any more questions? Good afternoon. Good morning, colleagues. Good morning, Dr. Tebogo. Congratulations, Lydia, on the position. Dr. Danny Jordaan, my question is for you. Ms. Monyepao is, if I'm not mistaken, the fourth CEO in the past 5 years. Would it be Dennis Mumble, would it be Mr. Mokwena, and Advocate Motlanthe? What does it say about the organization that there is a high turnover of CEOs in such a short time, whereas one would think that in governance principles, a CEO seeing out their contract would have been at least a sign of stability within a particular organization?
Okay, you missed out Russell Paul. So let us deal with the issues. Dennis Mumble worked for SAFA for 13 years. I don't think that's a short time. Dennis Mumble's contract ran out in 2018. Dennis Mumble at that stage has reached retirement age. The NEC took a decision that we must accept and that retirement age must kick in. So I hope that explains it. So then we had Russell Paul, was the COO, became the CEO. Russell Paul received an offer from the Qatar Organizing Committee. He explained, of course, the detail. And the NEC unanimously agreed that Russell Paul must go and accept that offer, because we must not hold him back. It's a huge experience for him, other than that he'll be remunerated in dollars. So we had a farewell, we wished him well. So there's no issue. It's normal. Then we did not have a CEO. The NEC decided that Gay Mokwena must act for 3 months, in which period we must advertise the post and we must then appoint the CEO. So now we are with Gay Mokwena. Gay Mokwena, 3 months was over. He was an executive member of SAFA. And in any case, from a governance standpoint that you raised, we are not happy with appointing members of the executive who are executive member at the same time acting CEO. So we had to accelerate that process to close that gap. We did that. We had an independent panel that interviewed all of them. She is sitting here, she's one of those who were interviewed. Out of the interview process, Tebogo Motlanthe, or Advocate Motlanthe, was appointed as a CEO to indicate to you that we are not happy with this CEO's. He was appointed for 5 years, right? But when people receive other offers, like Russell did, we are not going to stand in their way. So we wished him well. He was here. You saw him. He said he's continuing to work with SAFA. There's no issues between him and SAFA. You heard the CEO said she met with Advocate Motlanthe. They are continuing to work together. There must be a handover process, which they will take care of. So there's no issue. But if opportunities come along, what can we do as SAFA? We must be happy that SAFA is producing the kind of administrators that other instances want. So you will see where Advocate Motlanthe emerges and where he will now work from now on. And we can only wish him well. If people see there's an opportunity for betterment, for advancement, we will wish that person all the best. So I hope that I've covered all the CEOs in this term. And you must know our term started in 2013. I don't think it's many CEOs. You must count CEOs in other organizations. I'll give you the list of the CEOs and how many there are. They are close to 18. So I just want to deal with that issue. All of the CEOs won. The term and contract expired. The others got better offers. And the other one was temporary in any case. That was a decision of the NEC, only 3 months. And he was on Metro to say that I'm only here for 3 months just for you to finish the process and to appoint the CEO. So I hope that I've answered your question. Thank you.
Lydia, sorry. Lydia, you're one of the younger version of women administrators within the South African football context, and this position is quite big. Apart from your husband, what else does a Lydia depend on to keep her going? And with the challenges that we all know that every organization has, what is your standpoint as a Lydia that we're going to trust with our football as South Africans? That if things are going south, Lydia will not come to us and tell us they are going north. Lydia will put it as it is. We've had a bit of that with Motlanthe when he started, but I'm just going to focus on now. But now with you, what do you promise us as South Africans now that we fall under your constituency in terms of you being the CEO?
Well, the first thing I'll say, I'm not going to force my children to play football, but I hope that, you know, they will follow in their mother's footsteps. So obviously, for me in this position, it's about ensuring that I leave South African football in a position that when they come as football players in the future, should they decide to, our football is in a better state, especially women's football. From the time I was a player to where we are now, we've made huge strides from getting no money, playing for our national team, just playing for the jersey, to what the Banyana players are getting paid now, equal to Bafana. And also the quality games and exposure that they're getting on the international stage. Those are the opportunities that I never had. But, as Banyana manager, I managed to push when I was here between 2012 and 2014, and now coming in now to support the current team, in its management, and also the technical team, and also the Hollywood Bet Super League, to ensure that, we can professionalize the league, so that, our girls can be paid for their talents. Right now we have a lot of girls that are either studying or they're working. They only get to train in the evenings when time really allows, and they have to travel on the weekends to attend games. So it's still we're not where we want it to be, but we are building on that. We are going to put in a strategy to ensure that we can follow a path that will lead us to the professionalization of women's football in the next two years or so. That's quite important for me as a former football player. I'm just wearing my cap as a former player right now. But also, from an administrative perspective, I'm coming from a school of, a corporate school, having worked at EY in the audit environment. Policies and procedures have been very things that we have been really stringent about. So obviously for me, it's to ensure that we stick to those and continue with that in the association. I don't think there will be a challenge in terms of the support that we'll get from my CFO and the other staff members. But that's quite important for us to ensure. And with FIFA coming on board as well, giving us funding for the TDS. For the TDS scheme, we've got a pool of funding to ensure that our junior national teams, are more active. They get opportunities on the international stage. Actually, we should congratulate our under-17s for qualifying for the quarterfinals of the CAF under-17 AFCON that is happening in Algeria right now. That's testament to the kind of work that we're putting in, but it's not enough. There's a lot of room for improvement, and we're looking to build on that with the support of FIFA having come on board, and the new TD that is pushing really strongly on the development of young talent before, so we can prepare them for the future.
All right, thank you. One more question. The President has got to run to another engagement.
President Danny, you spoke about new opportunities not stepping in people's way. There's been talk that Tebogo Motlanthe might be going to the PSL. Is that then the main reason for his resignation of going to a new opportunity?
No, I cannot speak on behalf of Tebogo Motlanthe. I don't know why Tebogo Motlanthe is in my head. I suppose because they're going to play in Morocco. No, I cannot speak on behalf of Advocate Motlanthe. We must all wait and see. I cannot. You have the pen, so you can speculate. That's a good position of the media. You can speculate and write and so on. I can't. I don't have those platforms. But let us wait and see.
If you can just hijack the president, a message for the under-17. I mean, they've qualified. We've seen them dancing and all of that.
Oh yes, that we can do. Well, first of all, congratulations to the under-17 team. They are now going to the knockout stages. Of course, this is the last 8, and if they get through the last four will qualify for the World Cup under-17. But they have a massive challenge in Senegal. I think Senegal was one of the best teams, but we showed our ability to score against any opposition. However, we have to tighten some of the things at the back. So I think our wishes is with the coach and technical staff and the players. We want to wish them all the best as they take the final hurdle. If they get through this hurdle, they are qualified for the World Cup. A huge opportunity and a huge challenge, and they could not get a huge and better challenge than to face Senegal, which I think was one of the best teams in base of the performance there. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. We wish them all the best. We have high quality players in that team, and we hope that they will perform. I don't know the CEO. have you got a message? Because you were on the field as well for your team in AFCON.
Yeah, I want to wish Coach and the boys, all the best on Wednesday when they take on Senegal. It's not going to be easy, but I think it's just about keeping focused, and not letting Senegal. Because a lot of people, obviously we are the underdogs because Senegal have performed so well, in the different categories, the different levels of football, but I think it's just about believing in ourselves, in our own abilities. I've seen the boys have stayed up quite late at night to watch those games. The last one we've been against Nigeria, I think we had a very good chance, but obviously we squandered our opportunities. But you can understand these are young boys. We need to invest in them. They can grow. They are future Bafanas, but we are really grateful that they're getting this opportunity to play at this stage. They're getting a taste of international football at this young age, and we can continue on that path to ensure that the younger players also are groomed from a young age, and there's a player path for all of them, so that they can eventually graduate into the senior national team, so we don't have to look for players at an older age. But good luck to all the boys. We are proud of everything that they've achieved so far, and we wish them all the best, and we hope that they'll make us proud. Thank you.
That concludes our press conference. Can we have a group?
Thank you again. Congratulations, CEO, and thank you for coming. And I'm sure you will engage the CEO. Thanks. Bye.